people have expectations, and expectations can fuck us up.
100.
When we expect something, it will, out of whether it's expectations of a person, of our career, or whatever it may be, it can really mess up our mental health. But when you have the intention, that sets more so like a focus point.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Cassandra Lee.
And I'm EFRAN Jealous.
And I'm Jasmine Ballet.
And you're watching and listening to Look at Us.
Look at us.
Yeah, baby. And look at you. We see you even though I can't see you. I see you, if you understand what that means.
We're watching you.
We're watching you. We're always watching you. Oh, my goodness. You guys look great today.
Thanks.
How we feeling, by the way?
A little wine drunk. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, y'all are drunk?
No, I'm totally kidding.
I mean, I've been drinking my water.
No, I can tell when E gets drunk.
Yeah.
I can
You
tell.
think I'm drunk?
No, you're not.
Oh, okay.
You're not. I could tell when you are. is what
okay,
I'm
okay.
saying. Yeah. You're not.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Not yet.
It shows up right here first.
Facts.
It's so interesting how like when you like get to know certain people, like you could tell when it happens.
They get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I can tell when you get drunk too.
Really?
Yeah.
What do I look like?
You just push up on people.
Whoa. Relax. That is not true.
Should be in the club like.
That is not true. I only push
I've seen
up.
it.
I only no. When I'm looser, I do.
Looser.
Drunk.
I don't
Loosey
get drunk.
goosey.
No. I push up on people that I feel comfortable doing that with, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cause
She be like,
I know people who literally.
in your eyes.
No, I don't be like that.
She be she be giving you the smile.
I think that's just how I naturally am. Everyone says that. One of my friends says I have resting F face.
I can see that.
Fuck face.
Yeah. Like I don't have RBF. I got RFF.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't realize. I think it's a light eyes problem. A lot of people with light eyes get this.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Ask people with light eyes. Like I get told that all the time.
So it's not that just you're drunk.
No. Like I get told that, but then when I'm intoxicated, it probably, comes out a little bit stronger.
Yeah, you get loosey goosey.
I get loosey, but the whole pushing up on people is only with people I'm comfortable with because I know people who get drunk and it's like anybody.
Yeah.
They just meet someone and they're like, oh my God, what's your name? What's your name?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's
no,
not you.
I'm very aware. I'm very aware like who I'm with or whatever. But if it's like someone I'm comfortable with, yeah, then I'd be like, what's up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Then you'd be like,
I don't do that. You act like I'm moving my neck looking like what,
Yes.
Omarion and shit.
I'm like, where's Kass? Where'd my friend go?
That's how I feel about both of y'all when y'all get drunk.
No, EFRAN for sure.
EFRAN's not here.
first of all, Jazz, let's not talk about it.
You haven't seen me drunk.
What?
Are
see
you
me
kidding me?
Yeah.
When did she see me drunk?
When did she see,
Multiple times, but let's not. Remember when that night we was at the club? The world don't need to know. Remember when I was Courtney?
I wasn't even drunk.
Wait, I'm trying to remember what night you talking about.
When she was on the stage dancing. You remember? We're getting danced on.
Why can't I
Okay.
You don't remember? Her eyes are like.
Yeah, we'll see. We see who's really
You remember
drunk.
though?
What?
Oh, you must have been drunk.
No, I need to know the specifications. Like, what? You was on a stage?
I don't know what she's talking about.
It was that Reggaetonlandia. Do you know?
Got it. I remember that. Got it. I was
wasn't
like,
even-
we need to leave now.
No, you was definitely drunk.
I was tipsy.
No, girl, that was something else. You talk about me that's what I'm saying. I don't do that type of stuff.
Sometimes I like to put on a show just to get a reaction.
No,
from you
that was her
guys.
excuse. We
That-
was like,
that show was
what?
crazy.
I knew
That show was
exactly
wild.
what I was doing. I was
thought
laughing. I
Look,
was laughing.
Listen, I thought I paid to see this.
Yes, low key, I might have paid.
I might have paid. She got paid. It was crazy.
So that's a bit off subject, guys. Let's stay on it.
Let's be honest. Okay.
That's what happens when we're drunk. So when we're not drunk, what's happening?
Well, what's happening is we talk about intention
Yes.
and purpose and passion.
I love it. I love this.
I love that we get to see
Yes.
Yes. This is what the kids be doing now.
Yes.
Oh, this
my
is
sister
happening?
does this all the time. She's like,
Yes. I learned this when I was in New York. Somebody was like, bitch, this is what we do now. And I was like, show me. I was literally, I felt so old. I felt I have never felt
What is
that
going
old.
on?
I was like, is it happening? Is this what it feels like? Is this is what they was talking about?
Damn.
No one warned me.
This is the feeling.
Yeah, and then I'm like, one more time?
Right.
Can you do it again? And then a song come on. Am I doing it?
Yeah.
Hilarious. I need to learn how to stay up to date.
We
with
used
things.
to be the kids, man.
I know what I'm
What
saying.
happened?
I didn't
Still
realize.
kids.
I didn't realize like trends were changing, and I
Yeah.
gotta keep up with them. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you stay plugged
When you
in?
can't keep up with the trends is when you know you're getting old.
It's just because like there's so many other things to be thinking about right now that
Yeah.
I can't. Like,
Yeah.
We got
Like
time
we
for
actually have a
trends.
life.
that's what
So
it
it's
is.
like, yes, we have a life. So
Oh
it's
my
like
Kids
we
got
can't
so
have
much
time.
time.
Because
I'm
I
so
really-
jealous.
I
Yes,
literally
I
be
know.
thinking to myself like, how did I miss this? And then I think about, oh, you're dealing with. I just saw a video that was like, so I have to make sure I call my parents, make sure I deep condition my hair, every 2 weeks, make sure it's trimmed, watch my gut health, hang out with friends, have a social life, but not too much, stay on a diet, but then don't, hide things, like don't not enjoy things, budget, but like also have fun and like just all these
Man.
things. And I was just like, oh my gosh, wow, yeah, adulting
It's
is
crazy.
juggling a whole bunch of everything. So yeah, of course I can't keep up with trends.
Yeah. It's too much.
It's too much. It's too much.
Too much.
It's too much. And then on top of that, you got to find like your purpose and your passion.
Yes, purpose and passion.
So, ladies,
Yes.
I have a question.
We're up with the trends. What is it? Listening, we have answers.
Yes, we answer.
So, how do you find your passion and your purpose?
Oh,
How do you find your passion and your purpose?
Yeah.
yeah. It's a really good question.
If someone was out there was like, I don't know what to do, what is the advice you would give them to helping them find their passion and purpose?
So, like, I think I had this conversation with like a teenager actually the other day.
Really?
Yeah, during the holidays.
What teenagers are you talking to?
Well, I was home.
No, I'm not saying like that.
Whoa, the kids from
Wait.
Hold on now.
Okay, Cougar. Just under their 30s and she already on.
Hold on, because we don't need nothing to get switched up.
She was
on
like
the internet.
18, 19. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I'm kidding. I wasn't asking like that. I was
Yeah.
just like, when are you around teenagers is what I was trying to figure out.
I mean,
When she
my
doing
sister's
this?
My sister's a teenager.
I get that. That's
No,
your
yeah,
sister.
yeah.
But then you would have said sister, but you said a
it's
teenager.
a teenager.
So, I was
So
like,
my
what?
cousin's cousin,
Okay,
they
gotcha.
were visiting, and I was asking him because I think he's a junior or a senior, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? You're going to college soon, and then he's like, I don't know, and I was like, interesting, and I was like, which is totally okay that you don't know,
Right.
Obviously, you're a kid still, and then I was like, what do you love to do? I was like, what do you see yourself doing for the rest of your life? And he's like, I've never asked myself that question. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you actually enjoy doing for the rest of your life? Because that's the question that we don't get asked as kids. It's like, I want you to be a doctor. And then you're like, oh, maybe I should do this because my dad said, because my mom said. And I was like, what do you see yourself doing? He's like, I think I want to own a business. And I was like, what kind? He's like, I don't know. I was like, but that's okay. But now you want to be the boss. You want to own your own business. So, like, that led that conversation. And I think that is what I've always asked myself is like, what do I see myself doing for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
And that's how I found my passion. Because my passion is acting. I'm not sure if that's my purpose. You know what I'm saying? I know that acting is what I enjoy, is what I want to do for the rest of my life. But there is an underlying purpose within it, which I believe is like to inspire others or, things like that. I don't know. I don't think I know it exactly per se what it is like that is my purpose, because I feel like I still ask God, be like, God, what is my purpose? What is the purpose of this season? This. But I know that it is to inspire others, at least, or to help others, heal others, through what my passion is. Because I feel like the outlet that he's going to give me, or that he's given me so far, I've already inspired so many people.
Yeah.
To heal, to do whatever, to work out, to act, to go after a dream and stuff like that. So I believe that's my purpose, and then I believe that acting is my passion. So.
But how did you find that? What was the process of you actually finding that and owning it?
So I always knew that I wanted to perform since I was a little girl. Like, performing has always been my thing. Like I think we mentioned it before. I was like, I had a group. We were the Cheetah Girls, even though we were copy, and I would write songs. And Christmas parties, things like that, I would gather the groups to create dances. I used to be in dance. I used to be in a step team. So I always enjoyed being on stage and always performing. And everybody would always tell my mom, your daughter's going to be a star. Your daughter's going to be a star. Your daughter's going to be, she's going to be the best dancer. She's going to be such a great dancer, which is oddly, like, haven't really danced in 12, 13 years. Like seriously dance, you know? So, like, it's interesting because people always tell me, damn, I always thought you were going to be a dancer. And I'm like, I know. But I always knew that I wanted to act because like I told you, I wanted to be on Disney Channel so bad. I wanted to be on Disney Channel so bad. I saw myself being like that big, outrageously, oh my God, you know, like that kind of happy actor. But since I was a kid, I always knew it. Like, it was like my passion. I would look and I would see it and I would be like, how do I get there?
Yeah.
How do I get there? So when I was a senior, like I was looking up performing arts schools. That was my goal. Like, I was like, I'm going to a performing arts college, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to Juilliard. That's what I was like, lining up my cards to go to Juilliard, and then I got pregnant, so it didn't work out. You know, but yes, like I always just knew. So like I always had an itch to perform.
Yeah,
in whatever
you had
capacity.
the itch, and then you really felt it in high school, mid-high school, or where?
I always felt it, but in high school was when I finally was old enough to be like, I'm gonna pursue this.
To accept it.
Yeah,
and
you
own
know, like I'm like, Mom, I want to act, so start find me a class. You know, and she did. And it was a scam, but she did. You know what I'm saying?
Been there.
You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, John and Robert Power School of Acting, showing them out again. It's a scam. But yeah, and then me applying to colleges, looking at colleges to be in a performing arts school. Like, I was looking at Juilliard, AMDA, which is in New York and here, and I wanted to go to one so bad. I was like, my grades are so bad though. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do a year in college at HBCU, and then I'm transferring. That was my plan. I'm transferring to Juilliard, I'm transferring to AMDA. And
God had other plans.
God had other plans.
God had other plans.
But that's cool. He said you didn't need to go to school for it.
Ooh.
He's like, did I say that?
That's funny.
Yeah, right. How about y'all?
Goodness. I mean, for me, it was like, just, I feel like if it's something you can't live without, something that fuels you, it consumes you. You wake up, you think about it. You go to sleep, you think about it. It just, you can't live without it. That's performing for me too. I could not stop thinking about it. It just, I can't live without it.
Yeah.
And the way I like to help people understand what their passion is like, you take the structure of society, remove that, put that to the side. No money, no nothing. You don't need money to survive. Imagine you live in a world where all of your needs are met. Imagine you live in a world where all your needs are met. What would you be doing? And it's like, you would do whatever you want. What is it that you want?
Playing, having fun.
What is it that makes you, and why do you do that to have fun?
Right.
How does it make you feel?
Yeah.
Is that something that, you know what I mean? Like, if it fuels you, it feeds you, it feeds your soul. It makes you feel like you are you, makes you feel like you are at your best. To me, that's like, then that makes sense that that's your passion. Because, man, my eyes, my heart, my soul, everything lit up the moment I saw, the idea of performing, and that it could be me that makes someone feel the way that I felt watching that person do it.
Right, right.
I was like, this is all I want.
Yeah.
I've never deviated from that. I never said anything otherwise. This is all I ever wanted. And it's all I will ever have. It's what I'm going to do forever. I don't care how, I'm going to do it forever.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because everyone that I know growing up is like, wow, you're doing everything you said you would. Like this, you always said you would do this. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't realize I told you that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just talked about it too.
Yeah.
But the purpose aspect, I think it's a little bit more, it's deeper, and for me, I think that comes with relationship with the source, with God, like, to understand what you were created to do. Acting, performing, all that is the vehicle I use to be the purpose that I feel that I'm called to be. And I figured that out, like, man, it was a journey. It was a journey. But I will say your passion and your purpose are 100% connected.
Yeah, 100%.
They're connected. And then you just kind of have to break those layers, praying, meditating, talking to God. I remember I went to a Christian school. And so one of the assignments that we had was to define what our name means. And you know, my name is Cassandra with a K, and so I looked up. They wanted us to look it up on a like Christian site. Like Cassandra's not a biblical name.
Yeah.
And so nothing would come up. And then then I started going on Ask Jeeves. Remember Ask Jeeves back in the day?
Oh wow, damn.
Yeah, I would go on there and I would like search what my name meant, but it would always be like Cassandra with a C or with one S, or it wasn't my name. And so I never felt like this is what it is. So I remember showing up with a teacher's pet, showing up to class for the first time without my assignment and feeling like I'm letting everyone down.
Yeah.
And I remember going up to her and be like, I don't have this assignment because I could not find it. And I looked everywhere. And the next day, she taught class or whatever, dismissed everyone, and she pulled me to the side and she's like, I found out what your name means. Now, I don't know if she found out from a website and it was spelled exactly like mine or not, but I will say that this was divine.
Yeah.
I will say that definitely God used this moment to open up a portal for me to understand even more in depth what my purpose was. And she said my name meant mouthpiece of God. And I was like, I wrote it in my Bible. I have the Bible till this day. Wrote it. I was like in 7th grade, I think, 7th or 8th grade. Wrote it in my Bible, 7th grade. Wrote it in my Bible, and I meditated on that day in and day out. And I was like, okay, mouthpiece of God, Lord, what do you want me to do? What do you have for me? What does this mean? And the layers continued to evolve as I got older and older through the, signs of whatever life is teaching you.
Yeah.
But really my purpose is simply to be a beacon of light and love to this world and connect them to the source, right? To help them guide that to the source. I want to impact people. I want to leave them feeling different than when they first met me.
Yeah.
And so I want to be that beacon through the vehicle of performing, whether it's acting or music and whatever. So that's how I found it, and I continue to just understand it. I recently learned what the mission is behind the purpose, because then now that's something different.
Yeah,
your passion, your purpose. Now what's your mission?
Right.
And it's like now I have a mission statement for everything that I'm doing.
That's funny. I made a mission statement as well.
Did you?
Yes. I need to look on my journal, actually, one of my journals, to look back at my mission statement to myself. Now that you bring that up, it's just like, oh, shit, I did do that.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. Yeah.
Like mission statement as far as like what you're gonna do, the
mission is,
execution of it.
Yeah, it's almost like it's one statement that embodies the whole reason for the journey, the whole reason for your purpose, the whole reason for your passion. It's what it's like what it's gonna tie it all together. It's the mission.
Yeah.
I don't want to die without completing that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like that's how I think another way to help find your passion and purpose is to like this is an exercise that I would do back in the day. It was like, imagine, it's morbid, but imagine that you're at your funeral.
Oh, I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine you're at your funeral and you're watching people speak about you. What are they saying? And then you ask yourself, like, be honest. What do you think that they would say? Just what do you think people would say if you died right now and you were at your funeral? Write that down. What would you want them to say? Does that match? And then the thing that you want them to say, would they actually say that? And if no, then what do you need to do today
To get them to say it.
to get them to say that? And I think that helps kind of put into perspective more so the actions to create to being that person you want to be. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I gotta do my mission statement.
She said tonight.
Shit, I don't have a mission statement. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, finding mine, I feel like for a long time, I kind of fought my passion at least. For like as a kid, I've said this before, like I never dared to really dream that big. I never fathomed that it was attainable. So like as much as I loved acting as a kid, like not even knowing that that's what I was doing in my room after watching novelas or Mad TV and all these things that inspired me to just play in my room with all these characters in my head by myself. like I was acting, I was improvising, I was making up stories, I was writing stories, short stories, and I did all these things that I loved as a kid that I didn't even know were really have always been my passion.
Right.
When I had a camera, I shot little short films with my cousins and all these things that didn't click to me until my adulthood, when I'm like, oh, it all makes sense now. That's who I was. That's who I've always been. And I fought it for so long. I fought the fact that I really did want to do acting. The fact that I didn't actually take my first acting class until I left the country and ran into some people who were like, I was in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and they were like, hey, have you ever done acting? You want to take the seminar with this Argentine director? And I was like, okay, sure. Completely out of my comfort zone, where nobody knew me, is where I was where I dared myself to actually try this.
Wow.
But I wouldn't do it here, even though I did think about it. But then I always had this judgment about actors. I had this judgment about you know, that life just seems like it must suck. Like for like, how well do these actors know themselves, because they're constantly playing different characters. And it was really me battling the whole intention of wanting it. What is your intention for it's like I wanted it, but I fought it.
Right.
Like, why do you want that?
That's interesting, because a lot of people who like prejudge someone or something, is because they're afraid to be that themselves. You know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought about when it all clicked. I was like, oh, I judged actors, you know, saying things like, I remember telling my mom, I looked at like People magazine and Brad Pitt's drama with Angelina Jolie and everything. I'm like, oh, that must be terrible. Like, these people obviously don't know themselves to the core. They probably get lost in characters, and then they lose their way. And then now, you know, you have actors cheating on their spouse and because they're so lost in these characters. So I just saw all this as like negative.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I would literally like just talk myself out of like even thinking about it.
Wow.
And then when I was presented with that class, I was bit by the bug. I was like, okay, yeah. Because I went to Argentina to teach English as a second language.
Yeah.
And I realized I sucked at that. I tried, you know. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a teacher. Not for me. At least not English.
I still find that so fascinating that you did that. I'm like, wow, I remember when you first told me, I was like, get out of here. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I know. It's random to me even when I think about it today. But I was really just trying to find, it was after high school, and I was like, what do I really want to do? What do I really want to study? And I did that as like, just to try something new. And it introduced me to acting. Random. I took my first acting class in Spanish. And from there, I was like, okay, I know what I want to do. I want to come back to the States. I'm going to start acting. And then one bad indie film led to me going to film school and learning the shit myself. And I did, you know, I acted in one bad indie film, and I'm like, okay, I got to learn how to direct and write and everything.
Right.
So interesting that you say that, because it's like once you attach yourself to the passion that you want, and you understand it and the purpose, all that stuff, and you just like kind of surrender to it, you will find how like God will just give you the resources, the skill sets, put you in positions to understand it better. Like you may know your passion and your purpose, but then it's like God has a whole agenda, or like there's just like this journey that you're unaware of that you're going to need to really execute it at your highest and fullest potential. Yeah. Because like everything that I gone through just being here in LA, because when I was a kid, it was just like, I just want to act. I just want to make music.
Right.
It was just like one thing. And then you go through life and it's not happening in the way that you want. And then suddenly you're like, well, then why? This is not how I saw it. This is not how I envisioned it. Why isn't it happening? And then you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm here. And then suddenly you're like observing, and you're like, wait, I want to learn this. I want to understand this. And then you're like getting all these skill sets, and then you're looking back and you're going, I see why it didn't happen that way. And you're like, okay. And then suddenly your mind starts to expand. I don't actually just want to be this. I want to be this with this and this and this. And it starts to grow and develop. But it always kind of stems, because I feel like as a kid, for me personally, I'll speak on, is like, yeah, I wanted to be an actor. Yeah, I wanted to be a singer. But like, I always had this huge vision feeling. I didn't necessarily see it really well. I just felt it. I felt like something huge was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I understood that, but I understood it on a tangible level, like just acting and music. And then life would plan me and prepare me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening way bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
And then I'm reminded about the feeling. And I'm like, you kind of always knew, Kass, though.
Yeah.
You kind of always knew. You know what I mean? It's really interesting.
Exactly. Like all of that is how I felt like it all fell together in God's plan the way it was supposed to, even though I fought it or never even thought I could do such a thing. It all circled back and it bit me hard in the ass, and now I'm here. and then, you know, I try to tie that in with my purpose, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm passionate about. How can I make this purposeful? Like, where's the purpose in this? Because I don't want to do things without purpose. And then when I started making the comedy videos online and doing the skits and everything, it was like literally like just the comments and the direct messages from people saying, I love your videos. They bring like laughter and joy to my day. Like, thank you for making my day. Like, I was getting so much good positive feedback from people who were literally just reaching out or venting or just being vulnerable with me. And I'm just like, wow, I'm touching people, dude.
Yeah.
These, you know, funny little skits, you know, people will say, oh, you funny little videos, but they're not little. They're actually, they can make a difference in someone's day. They're not as little as people might, you know, make them out to be. Oh yeah, I watch your little videos. Da-da-da. They're not little though. These little things are gonna go a long way.
Yes.
And they have.
Yeah.
And that for me, like, to make somebody's day with a simple little video is just, that makes my day. That makes my work more meaningful. And I'm like, that's my purpose. I want to make people laugh. I want to make people feel. I want to talk about things that might shift someone's perspective, not to change their mind on something, but to just open their mind more. Because a lot of people aren't open-minded enough, or they're afraid to think outside of the box or what's comfortable for them, outside of the views that they've grown up with. And I challenge myself all the time to, like, is this your view, or is this because someone told this is what you grew up, how you were raised? And so I'm always like constantly trying to challenge myself to think for myself rather than how I was brought up or what society tells me. And I feel like more people need to think for themselves.
Yeah.
And however I could inspire someone, whether it's what I do or what we talk about, like, I love that, because I love feeling inspired just by having a casual conversation with people that I meet out in the street or something. It's always something that clicks a different perspective, and when a perspective shifts, I just feel like that brings you closer to whatever truth it is. I just want to get closer to the truth. Why are we here? What are we doing? Let's make the best of it.
Yes. Yes.
And so for me, it's like living out my full purpose and doing what I love. I think people will see that and do the same for themselves.
Word. Exactly. Catches on like fire.
Yeah.
It's
And
contagious.
And it's the little things that make a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It'd be the little things.
The little things.
So what are some personal, emotional, meaningful intentions you guys set, like guided towards your passion or your purpose? Are you guys like super intentional? You know, because some people just could just move through life, you know, and then there's some people who are actually super intentional, and it makes a difference. I feel like
I'm very intentional.
Right.
I'm super intentional about everything, like down to the point where like I don't necessarily even go out unless it's attached to my purpose. You know, am I supporting someone? Am I celebrating someone that I care for or whatever? And is it aiding me progress towards where I need to go? If not, it's taking. I'm in a season where I can't have nothing take.
Yeah.
I need to continue to multiply. I need to be extremely fruitful with this time. So it's like, I'm really intentional about, you know, you guys know, right? Down to the point where like a new year comes, the goal setting, how specific, and then the actions I want to take to get there. I can't wait to be on my own, because I am starting to see I'm just starting to see and feel how important this next season is for my life. And like, I'm getting glimpses of what God is doing in my life right now. And the woman that I always saw myself being, I'm going to enter right now. Like this season's going to be crazy.
Right.
And I finally am like aware to the point where like a few episodes ago, we had a conversation about certain things that I'm already feeling I have broke out of. I'm already feeling I grew from.
Yeah.
I'm no longer the girl that I was in like episode 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? I really feel that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm very super intentional about everything, down to like who I give my time to. I'm also being intentional with being present and allowing, not being so controlling, like, because intention can sometimes feel like you got to control every situation because you're like, I want to be so intentional that like if it doesn't fall within my intention, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? I'm also learning that sometimes your intention needs to be lined up with God's intention, or divine plan, right? So I'm learning that sometimes I'm in a situation I can't even explain or may not feel like it's going my way. That I'm like, just sit here, chill here. There might be something here.
Right.
Open your eyes, open your heart. There might be something here. Pay attention, Kass. You know, I try to find intention in everything. I actually feel like if I'm not, I'm just a being taking up space. And that's something I never want to be.
I would say today more than ever, I have been more intentional with how I move daily. Like more intentional today than I was last year, even. Like down to the very small things with like, okay, let's prioritize what needs to be done today, because I'm trying to catch up to my to-do list from last week and last month and last year. So and that thing just keeps piling up. So I'm like, okay, let's start with what are the priorities? What do we need to do? What can we cross off the list? What, and just being intentional with like who I spend my time with, where I spend my time, and everything. That's why I haven't really dated much too, because I'm trying to be intentional about my dating, because I want to be more intentional about my work ethic. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to date till I feel like completely grounded in my work is how I want to feel. I want to feel completely grounded in my work and in myself. And when I say my work, I mean not just my career, but like my work with myself, like self-work, career work, everything before I, go have the intention to date somebody. So yeah, even down to the food I eat, I'm like, okay, let's be intentional with what we put in our body, because we're not getting no younger.
Girl.
So everything, I feel like the older that I get, the more intentional that I get with everything. And I love it. I love being intentional because it really helps me make decisions. Because I'm so bad at making decisions as it is. I suck at making decisions. But when I think about the intention behind the decision, I'm like, okay. It helps me focus on what's important. I'm going to make this decision because my intention is this.
Good. That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. That's the way, I feel like everybody should definitely move is with like that kind of understanding and being. I feel like same, I'm very, very intentional. Like, I've been pretty much intentional, I feel like, since my move out here. You know what I'm saying? I became super intentional with everything that I do at a very young age. And I feel like I'm so grateful for that, even though I know sometimes it could throw people off how intentional I am. But it does throw people off how I am, because I have to ask God everything before I do anything. That sometimes it feels like, you can think for yourself. Or I'm like, but I gotta talk to the big man. You know what I mean? But the big man you gotta go through him to make sure that this is the best decision for me. And I am grateful. I feel like he's had his hand in my life, over my life, since, granted, all of us, we're all his kids. But like, as I get older, like I'm now 30, and I start to see, wow, like God had his hand on my life there.
Yeah.
16 or 17. I'm like, wow, I didn't even realize I'm here. Like, oh, this is. No, he's had his hand on my life this entire time. And I became super, super intentional before I even moved out here. Like with what I eat, what I put in my body, my morning routine, my diet, my workout schedule. That's when I really, really started. And then I think that's the driving force that actually got me to come out here. You know what I'm saying? And granted, that might be, I was pregnant at 17. So, you know, like, I don't know if a kid just made me right away, grew me up and made me have to think differently. Okay, now this is for you. Changing my habits. Okay, cool. My family does this. We can't operate like this. My family eats like this. We can't eat like this. My family's having this diseases and certain things show up. We can't be moving like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I like how you guys said, same things. Like I'm very, very intentional. And I think everyone should learn how to move with intention so that they could just operate
at their highest form.
at their full, from their highest self.
I love that you guys are intentional. I see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's also a great reason why we're friends.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the most fulfilling friendships because of the fact that you guys are so you match almost every aspect of everything that I do for myself, that I've done for years. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, okay, there are people like me who think beyond just the now, the here. You know what I mean? Like, it feels great to see that. It makes me feel also like it keeps me accountable just by watching you guys be. I'm held accountable to continue being. Yeah. You know, so it's like,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I love that you guys are intentional. I think that's something I prayed for in friends is that, like, I often found, like, even just growing up, that I was always like, you know, the leader and teaching and helping and aiding and the advice of my friends. And it was rare that I can receive that in return. And it's like, I feel like I gotta actually come to y'all and like get solid advice. Sometimes it's not even coming to you. I'm just watching you.
Right.
And it's speaking to me.
Yeah.
Even through these podcasts.
Yeah.
You guys say something like, I needed that. You know what I mean? Right. You know, so it's like you guys are so intentional, and I love it. I love it. And that's how I know, like, both of y'all are so destined. Like, abundance and overflow to you and your families is coming because of how intentional that you guys are being, you know.
Ditto.
Like, I love it.
Yeah, ditto.
The feeling is mutual.
Yeah, ditto.
I love you guys. Thanks.
Very much.
You know, when I met you way back, not that back, but, you know, a few years ago, when I had the first day I met you, actually, I remember you telling me something. I don't know if you remember this, but I was venting to you already about something. And then I remember you saying something. Your response was basically like, well, it was basically intention over expectation. And that always stuck with me. It was basically you were asking me, like, well, you know, what is, don't have so much expectation, but what is your intention? What, you know, like, think about your intention over your expectation. And I was like, huh? And it stuck. And I read it. And then it's funny because I also read it recently in some book I was listening to, and it talked about something similar, and just basically how, like, people have expectations, and expectations can fuck us up.
100.
When we expect something, it will, you know, out of whether it's expectations of a person, of our career, or whatever it may be, it can really mess up our mental health. But when you have the intention, that sets more so like a focus point.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you remember saying that to me.
I don't.
But you did, and it stuck with me. And just, it's something that I try to apply. So anytime I'm feeling anxious because of any expectation I have in my mind, I try to let go of all expectations, and I'm just sticking with the intention of, this is my goal, this is what I want. You know, my intention is to do this for this reason, and I'm gonna let go of the outcome and let it be what it is. But I know what my intention is, and just move through that.
That's game changer.
Yeah.
That's game changer. So many people get stuck on the outcome, the expectation of something. I mean, think about it in our industry with an audition. You know, we believe you can call anything into existence, right? So sometimes we come into an audition, this one's mine, it's mine, it's mine, and it ain't.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
man, what do you mean it's not? You said I can call it into existence. You said I have the power to an authority over something, and it's not. This doesn't make any sense. And now you get angry. Now you get frustrated. Now, what am I doing wrong? And you begin to question and doubt and all these things. But if you let go of expectation and you just go back to intention, man, the end result is the end result regardless. Where you're going is where you're going. What you're destined for is what you're destined for.
Exactly.
Your purpose will be fulfilled if you constantly focus and plug back into the intention of something, because you don't know the outcome. That part is God.
Yeah.
That part is destiny. That's divine. You have no control over that. The intention is the only thing you have control over. And if we stay focused on that, you can create any outcome, and it will be better. It will be better than what you think, because you're just focusing on the intention and you're surrendering everything else to divine, to divinity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm glad I said that to you. I didn't know that I said that to you. I'm glad that I said that to you. I'm glad that it stuck with you.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And I try to apply it anytime I'm feeling anxious, because I have some expectation in the back of my mind, and I'm like, let it go. Just, what is the intention? What is the goal here? Just,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard, because I feel like I've lived with a lot of expectations for a while here. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm like, as someone who I believe that already knows, like, I feel like God promised me this, like, at a very young age. And I believed it at a very young age. And I was like, this is what I'm going with. You promised me this. And I always tell people that this is a promise. This ain't even like, I'm not making this shit up. You can't make this shit up, okay? Like, it's a feeling, it's a gut feeling that I know God already promised me. So, like, you know, like, y'all know I have hella vision boards on deck. That's all I do is goal, plan, so set all that stuff. And I'll be like, okay, cool. I'm the next this. Or I'm in this movie. And then I see this movie get created. I'm like, oh, shit.
and God said, stay humble.
Yeah. And then, okay, so I'm not Katana. Okay, now I will be this. So Tomb Raider's getting made currently. Okay, so that was a lot of expectation.
do the same shit.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, we do have power, like you're saying, you know, like, we do have the power to manifest. But what the problem is that if us three all have the same power to manifest the same goal, one of us has to get it.
Right.
So it's like, I can't be upset. You know,
Yeah.
we that doesn't change that we still have the power to call into existence the things that we
100.
want. It's just that there might be 50, 500, 11 people calling the same thing into existence.
And it doesn't make one more powerful than the other.
Exactly. It's just that person. It's just
It's for
that.
them. Yeah, it's for
you
them.
know?
Man.
So yeah, so I had to like let go. I realized of a lot of expectation. I stopped years ago. I feel like I stopped caring about auditions.
Yes.
I'd send them in and that's it. You know, like, it's like, whatever. It is what it is. It's not like, let's not be, oh my God, I hope I got this one. I hope I get this one. I hope I get this one.
This
It's
is the
like,
one. This is the.
set it and forget it.
Yeah. Keep moving.
Keep moving.
Keep intending.
Yeah, keep intending. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's obviously things that you really do want. But it's like,
But those things are the ones that are rooted to the intention, right?
Yeah.
I think that, yes, get specific. Yes, call things into existence. But there's a surrender and a let go you got to have. And you also have to understand that you're a co-creator. You're created in his image. You know, so when you are calling these into existence and when you're moving with intention, everything is already yours.
exactly.
Everything that you do is literally right. Every situation that you're in is right. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. If you are doing the work, if you are pure in intention, if you are pure in love, pure in joy, connected to the source, all of it, if you're doing the work and it's coming from that pure place, everything that you do is right. There's absolutely nothing wrong, because everything that you do is getting you closer to the plan and purpose that he has already written for you.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. And sometimes we put such huge weight on every choice that we're making and intention that we're making. And is this right? I'm so scared. And then we realize, wait, I am right. Everything I'm doing is right because I come from you and you are me and I'm doing the work and I am intending. You want this for me. You're actually going to make this better.
Yeah.
And if it's only for just a season, I surrender to that too.
Yeah.
I lay it all out. I trust the process. I lean into your will. But I'm here doing the work.
Yeah.
You
You just
know what I
can't
mean?
get attached.
Can't
to
get
the
attached.
outcome.
Can't get attached to the outcome.
Because it's not, the outcome isn't what we even expect it to be. It's
Yeah.
always going to be different.
A little bit
whether it's
different.
slightly or completely.
Yeah.
But and in most cases, it be turning out to be something way better than what we even wanted.
100. That's why it's like, just focus on doing the work.
Yeah.
Doing you. How does faith tie into that?
What do you mean?
Like, do you feel like when it comes to intention, is faith behind it? Is there a leap of faith that's needed to be intentional? Or is intentional logical? Is it structured?
No, for myself personally, I would say my intentions are faith-based. You know, because it comes from, like, I feel like spirit. So because of my faith, right, this is why I have so many intentions with my life. I can't just be faithful and do whatever the hell I want. I'm not going to get nothing. So I have to be intentional in everything that I do. So, like, I would say for me, myself, yes, it is faith-based. It's like everything is the source. Everything is God.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I refer to him so much in everything that I do, because it's like, this is all God.
Yeah.
You know, he is guiding this. He is driving all my intentions. Even
Jesus,
if I don't
take the
get
wheel.
why. Yeah, Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what you're doing, and I just trust you. And sometimes I don't, but for the most part, like, I know. Sometimes it's like, what are you doing, fam?
Yeah.
Fam, what are you doing? But it's like, in the end, is that core. It's the spirit. My soul knows, like, he got you.
Yeah.
Even if your ego wants to be like, nah, we got to do it this way. We got to do it my way. We got to, they'll be like, no.
Yeah.
We're leading with the spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Jazzy?
Faith definitely has always played a big part with my intention, because I have seen the way faith and manifesting and intention all go together in producing what I want in life. I've seen it happen. I've prayed, I've journaled it, and I've seen it come to fruition because of my intention, because of my faith in that. And it just came to, whether it was like in a few months or in a few years later, it happened. And I'm like, wow, these are the things that I prayed for. So you have to have the faith with the intention.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what religious views you have or whatever it may be, but like, you have to have faith that your intentions will come to fruition, like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's the energy source.
Yes.
Of it. It's like with anything, and faith in even my actions and how I move through life. Yeah, like always, I believe in karma. I believe that it all circles back, whether it's good or bad. You what is it? You get what you give. So whatever you put out into the world, you get back.
Yes.
And I'm just learning to always make the most loving choices.
Good.
Yeah, good.
You get what you give. What you focus on also grows.
Yeah.
And, for me, I think intention is a beautiful recipe for both faith and logic, right? Because we live in a finite world, and so therefore there are logical things we have to put into place to execute. However, man, that faith is what drives it. But I feel like intention needs a little bit of both, right? You're going to be faithful to run the race. You know what I mean? Because it's a marathon. It's not going to happen overnight. Nothing is. Your life's journey is, so you need the faith to believe that the intention and the logical steps you're taking towards it are actually going to produce the forward movement of the manifestation of the accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of how I see it too.
Yeah. So what do you guys feel about who do you need to be versus what do you need to do to get what it is that you want, to achieve the things that you want? Like, like,
I love this question.
you know what I'm saying? Do you get it?
I get it.
Okay, so go ahead.
I get it. There's this thing that I used to say all the time to my students. And it was, you need to be in order to do, in order to have. A lot of people try to have, do, to then be. And you got to be, do, have. So if I have an outcome I want, right, or an intention that I'm looking to accomplish, I need to be the person that is required to receive that. And then when I become that, I'm doing the things, and then I'll have it. You see what I'm saying? And most people are, because of who we are as humans, we function backwards. You know what I mean? It's like, I gotta have it, I gotta have it.
Said a motherfucking word. Oh, that's so deep. No, it's so deep because I feel like, what you said was just so powerful. Cause, I think I had this conversation with you or somebody else. I don't remember.
Yeah, we talked about it before.
Yeah, where it was kind of like, before I used to just ask because these are the things that I want. These are the things you said you promised me this, so like I should be able to get this, right? And I'm wondering, why aren't these things happening, or why are they happening but I still feel empty, right, with certain things, to the point where I had to reiterate or reword the things that I started asking for. Now I'm no longer asking to have the movie, right? I'm asking God to make me the type of woman that can be in a movie. Make me the type of woman that makes these choices. Make me the type of woman that is wealthy. Make me the type of woman that is abundant. You know what I'm saying? So I have to first be it. Exactly.
You gotta be it. And when you're be it, you naturally do it. You naturally do it. You can't.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. Like, I would always tell people who would come to when I used to teach karate and stuff, like, people would come, they'll try out a free class, and it's like, nah, I gotta enroll them, right? So I would have no business if people just came and took free classes, right? So once they take the free class, what's my goal? To get you to sign up.
Yeah.
I gotta sell you, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people would have this big hesitation, and that hesitation was, I'm not fit. And I was like, you don't gotta be fit to start. You gotta start to get fit.
Yeah.
You want this outcome. You're not gonna get it by doing nothing. You need to be it now. Do it, and then you're gonna have the fitness that you want. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's so crazy how backwards functioning we are, you know, asking for the thing, asking, like you just said, chasing the thing. But what are you doing to be the person to receive it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's a word to me too.
Yep.
You know, because I've been going through my stuff. You see me this last few years. Maybe it's been a climb to be where, but definitely in the last year for sure, I've been down and out.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm coming back. Oh,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? And it's like, even just reminding myself this, I'm like, holy shit, yes, Kass, duh.
Do you think that success and happiness go together? Can you have happiness before being successful? Like, how do you guys find happiness in the present moment?
Good question.
Yeah.
I feel like success is ever evolving. There's successes that happen on a daily in the present moment that are towards the grander success, the bigger success. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I think it's important because future success doesn't exist. It's now that exists. It's only now that exists. And so it's important to acknowledge what's successful in this very moment. So I don't think my happiness should be tied to success. I can't say that it is ever, because there are times where I put my happiness in the success, and then when things aren't going my way, me siento como depressed. And if I'm not seeing action and movement towards my goal, I'm like dead. And I don't like that because I'm putting weight.
That goes back to expectation.
It goes back to expectation, exactly. So I can't say ever because I'm human, but I don't think it should be, because there are beautiful successes in the now to acknowledge. But I like to make sure my happiness, my joy, my peace, all of that doesn't even come from anything of this world. I don't want it to be stemmed by anything of this world. I think anything that happens in this human experience is a cherry on top. It's like, oh, that's sweet because you're acknowledging that you're here. You know what I mean? Those are the beautiful moments that are here. But aside from all of this, just the very fact that I exist and that I'm a beautiful being, not physically, internally, that to me is like, there's peace, there's joy. But knowing where I come from, knowing how incredibly and perfectly imperfect I am made, that's joy to me. Being that as best as I can be not the success. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that I don't want success. I want it.
100%.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I think even happiness is success.
Happiness is success. Exactly.
If I can find joy in any and every moment, I feel like that would equate to me finally being successful.
Exactly.
Because I've tied my joy or my success to other, like you said, other things, humanly things, like where I'm at, my career and things like that.
Yeah.
And kind of like you said, I have, like we're human. So like, because I'm not like when things are not going my way, or let's say the acting world shuts down again for a year, that kind of like takes a toll on you when it shouldn't. But that's also us living in our masculinity. That, you know what I'm saying? That affects the way we just enjoy the present moment. And if we were basking, or for myself, I'm going to speak for myself, basking in my femininity, which is what I said I want to learn to do more, is because I want to surrender. I want to be able to relax. I want to be able to trust and just be okay with, if nothing is happening, everything is happening at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just laying here and that is okay. Like, I am just being and that is okay. I am looking at the sky and that is okay. And this is success. The peace that I have right now, which I haven't gotten yet, but it's like the peace that I have right now is success. Because I found before I used to ask for this, things that you know that are obtainable, like my career.
Yeah, tangible
awards,
things.
Tangible, that's the word I was looking for. And now I see myself asking God for more just joy, your wealth. I want you to surround me in avalanches of abundance. You know what I'm saying? Like, of joy, avalanches of peace, avalanches of just kindness, grace, compassion, all the things that come from God's wealth. That's all I want now is God's wealth. And then, like you said, it'll be everything else is just a cherry on top. Because if I have God's wealth first, I'm good. But we're working on that because we're working on that.
Because we're human.
We're
in a human experience.
Exactly. So, like, that's just what I asked for.
We're going to keep reminding ourselves.
Exactly. Keep having to remind myself, like, hey, God, all I want is your wealth. The kingdom. Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I feel happiness more today, just in peace. The peace that I have today is all my happiness. I literally will cry because of the peace that I have right now. And I'm crying tears of joy, and I'm like, thank you. This is what I prayed for. And I love it. That is like success. To finally have that peace is success. Because there was a time where I'm like, will I ever be peaceful again? Can I come out of this? And so just to come out of things and be in a better place than you were a year ago or last week even, that's success to me. That's happiness. That's growth. And anytime I'm growing, that makes me happy. Anytime I'm just having a moment, when I feel present, like right now, I'm happy. I'm present with you guys. We're having a moment where we're here. It's nothing else. It's about nothing else but here right now. When I'm here, when I'm doing acting, when I'm doing what I love, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And it's just these moments that bring me happiness. And even when I'm alone, I'm happy in my peace, and I love those moments.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think you need success for happiness, because that is the success, is finding the happiness in the moments now.
Yeah.
And then everything else is
So have you ever felt empty after like achieving something you thought that would make you happy?
I have.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've already achieved, I feel like, a lot. A lot of the things, not even a lot, but some of the things I wanted, like some of the shows I wanted, the lead in a TV show that I wanted, right? So like, I'm like, okay, I've manifested what I came here to do, right? So I got these things. I said I was going to be on, when I moved here, I said I will be on American Horror Stories. I got on the show. I said I will be on All American. I got on the show. I said I will have my own TV show. I got my own TV show, and then I still felt empty. And then I realized that it was because of my intention behind it. And my intention behind it was that I wanted to be seen because I felt like my parents never saw me. So I was striving so deeply to want to be seen. So I'm like, okay, well, if I get that, I will be seen. And then I got it, and then I was like, okay, well, I still don't feel seen. I got this, and then I was like, okay, I don't feel seen still. And then I got the lead in the TV show. I'm like, okay, well, now why do I still not feel seen? Like, what is going on? And then I had to realize, like, EFRAN, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You want the accolades from the wrong people. The only person that needs to see you is you. That's the only person that doesn't see you. You want your dad to see you. You want your mama to see you. You want your family to see you. They don't see you because they're not the ones that's supposed to see you. They don't see the vision. They can't. They're not supposed to. It's you. And I when I finally realized that, I was like, whoa. I felt freer. I was like, I don't have to do this for him anymore. I don't have to do this for you to see me, because you probably never will. And that's okay. As long as I see myself and as long as God sees me, that's all I need.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, it was just the intention. It went back to the intention behind a lot of the things that I wanted. And once I saw the ill intention in it, I was like, wow, like, I don't know, I just felt freer.
Yeah. Yes.
It was just like, wow. Like,
Suddenly, like, whatever, it breaks the hindrance, and the energy just falls, and you're like,
exactly.
Oh, I feel lighter out of nowhere.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not carrying such a heavy burden. Like,
yeah.
That's the human experience stuff.
Exactly.
When you let go of all of that, there's such a beautiful freedom. You actually can enjoy the human experience way better, because you're no longer caught up in it.
And now I can also enjoy what I have done and what I have accomplished, because it didn't feel like enough for me. And people would be like, wow, you're really killing it. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, but it's not where I want to be.
Right.
Well, because I still don't feel seen enough by me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, now I can actually, not saying that I completely see myself, because this is actually a realization that I had a couple months ago. But now I can actually be like, yeah, you are fucking doing it. Like, yeah, you got a whole fucking TV show, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, I can actually sit in the things that I actually
Angel on BET. Angel on BET.
Angel on BET.
Angel on BET. This is Angel, by the way. Oh my God. Girl, can I get your autograph? I want to sign my titty.
Girl.
Sorry.
But yeah, I could finally be proud of it, because I couldn't before.
I mean, for me, I can't recall a specific moment where I achieved something and felt like, well, what am I supposed to feel different after this? You know what I mean? I can't recall a specific moment, because I don't think I've ever achieved anything that I've been so longing to achieve. So I can't really say, wow, I did it, and then be like, wait, because I haven't done it yet. So I hope
In the way that you're thinking.
in the way that I'm thinking.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, in the way that I'm thinking. In the way that I'm thinking, for sure. And I hope that day never comes.
Yeah.
I hope that day never comes. And I think, one thing my father, thanks Dad, has always taught me was be content, never complacent, always go for more. And so I'm content with everything I've accomplished. I acknowledge what I've accomplished. Of course, I fall short, and sometimes I'm just like, boo, 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 what happened?
Yeah.
What have you done, Kass? You know what I mean? But I acknowledge that, so I'm content. I am not complacent.
Of course.
I'm not complacent. And even when I imagine some of the greatest things I will accomplish, I don't think I'll still be complacent.
Yeah.
I think I'm always going to go for more. And I'm so grateful that my dad instilled that into me, because I don't foresee, but I'm human. I don't foresee myself accomplishing something and then being like, murr. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, I already have it like built, like this ain't it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's dope, but this still ain't it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I acknowledge I was homeless here.
Yeah.
I acknowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I acknowledge. I'm grateful. I'm very content. I've done a lot. I'm patting myself on the back. I'm rooting for myself. I am proud of who I am. I'm proud of the little girl in me who believed in the woman I am today. I'm also proud of the woman I'm going to become. Very content. I'm just like, this still ain't it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But I also think it's just tied into intention. You already touched on it. So when you said it, I was like, bingo. Like, that's really, I think the only way you can really feel empty after accomplishing something so great is if it's not aligned with the intention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I hope I don't ever fall into that. I can't think of a moment in this moment. There might be. I just, maybe it wasn't as impactful for me to remember.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've had that happen either. As far as like not feeling fulfilled after accomplishing it.
You want, yeah.
I mean, I could say like just in a small sense of like so far what I've done out here, even though it's not like on the grand scale of things like I envisioned, but I've still done a lot that I hadn't done a few years back. And I don't give myself enough credit where I'll like beat myself down and I'll be like, oh, you know, you should be much farther in your career by now because you've been doing this for how long? And so in that sense, I don't give myself credit in places sometimes, and then I catch it later and I look at all the work I've done and what I've just everything since the time I moved here or even before I even moved here, and I'm like, look at how far we've come. Like, give yourself some credit.
Right.
And so in that sense, that's when I might not feel fulfilled, but then when I really think about what I've done and acknowledge that in myself, I'm like, wow, we've come such a long way.
Yeah.
Like, give yourself some grace and just keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. Keep pushing.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Have you guys ever had subconsciously ill intention? And did you realize that before or after the fact that you might have done something with ill intention?
Yeah. Ill intention, I feel like, is so conscious. Intention is conscious.
True.
It's hard to be intentional and be unconscious.
Okay, so have you ever had ill intention?
Like, I think that unconscious behavior is an intention. It was instinctual. It was you're not aware.
Right.
I have at certain points in my life been consciously ill-intended. Not moments I'm proud of, and again I own and take full accountability over, and I plan on never being that way. I know I'm human, so if I do fall short, I always plan on keeping myself accountable and owning up to whatever it is.
Yeah.
But my intention in life is to be pure intended, as best as I can possibly be. And if I fall short, I hope it comes from an unconscious behavior that I will make myself aware of and clean it up.
Yeah.
That's what I intend for myself.
Yeah. Maybe perhaps towards family where like, like a pettiness or like ill intention because I feel hurt by them or neglected by them or not seen by them. So I'm like, I'm going to do this to prove to you that I can, or to prove to you that you were wrong. Like that's probably the most I would say for ill, if that's considered ill. I mean, I guess it is a way of being ill because you're hurt. Pure. Yeah, it's not pure. And then, like I said, then you end up just feeling empty because it's not pure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Out of hurt, out of anger, pain, somebody back in my petty days,
Exactly.
I had a little ill intention and, you hurt me, I hurt you back.
Yeah.
But I don't want to move like that no more because I don't want to attract that anymore.
At all, man, at all. I don't want to attract that. Like, no. And what you focus on grows. So it's like, why am I going to focus on the hurt that you're doing to me?
Yeah.
I don't want that to grow. I'm going to snip it. And move on. Yeah, move on to something that's going to help me grow.
You can't escape karma. You can only transcend it. I like that one.
I like that one too.
Yeah, it was fire.
That's beautiful. Man, this was a beautiful episode. I enjoyed it so much. I hope you guys did too. So thank you for being here, listening to us, and some of you who were looking at us. Peace and love.
Tune in next Wednesday.
Hey, get the lifestyle lookbook. Join the pod squad. Subscribe to our channel and don't forget to join our squad. Visit lookatuspod.com.